So the way the LA Film School Animation and VFX program has essentially helped us out is that it's really set the groundwork for an effective production pipeline in the animation and VFX fields. So when we start the animation program, we actually start them off with my good friend Alumni, who's an amazing instructor from Art Center in Pasadena, and he comes from a just 15+ year career as an illustrator, comic book artist, and even video game artist for one of my favorite video games, Star Wars Battlefront. And what he does in the beginning foundational course is really show the students a basic understanding of art and design, especially when it comes to using a software like Photoshop, which is really beyond a photo editing software. It's really just a digital art wonderful software that just lets you do pretty much anything. So with him coming in with some very strong foundational theories such as lighting and shading and the basics of geometry and drawing, what Alan does in his beginning courses is he really sets the precedent for the level of precision and artistic value that the students are going to come to expect in the animation and VFX program. And if it wasn't for his knowledge and just that amazing level of expertise that comes in, I really feel students would be lacking the foundational skills that are needed to really succeed in our program. So then we give you a little more responsibility with the 2D animation courses. And luckily I've been able to enlist the help of my good friend Bill Ricinos, who was my mentor in college. And we're now building a 2D animation program, and those same techniques and software such as Storyboard Pro and Toon Boom Harmony are what helped us learn and to create the animatics for Proxy. So right then and there you see the dynamic of the classroom affecting the project. And then as we go on beyond that, we get into the foundational 3D classes where you're learning the basic software that is Maya, which is a very powerful 3D application that is used all around the world for video game projects, movies, trailers, you name it, it does it. And that's really a big focus in the animation program in itself, because Maya is such a robust software that you could literally spend 5 years in one particular window and never touch the rest of the software. So it's very organic in that way. And then once we've gotten past the basic Maya class, you get into my Unreal 4 classes. And that's actually one of the biggest bridges for interaction between Proxy and the animation program, is that we're using the Unreal 4 engine, which is one of the top AAA video game development engines in the world. And we're fortunate enough to have a license here on campus so the students are experienced with its UI and its features while being able to take that knowledge from the classroom and bring it to Proxy. And what the best part about having so many students and graduates working together is that they're able to cross ideas and back and forth and really come up with new, exciting ways that we can optimize the game and make it fun, which is really, really awesome. And then we go into more intense courses such as ZBrush, where you learn how to create our 3D characters. ZBrush is the software package that any major 3D production house needs to have in terms of characters. Without ZBrush, you're not going to get any of the big movie monsters or aliens that you would see in every normal films like Guardians of the Galaxy. And same for video games. Without ZBrush, you wouldn't have Batman, you wouldn't have Bioshock, none of that. Being lucky enough to have instructors like Damien Seibert and Solomon Blair on board to teach those courses is just a treat, since they work for Pixelogic especially. So that's just a big bonus for the students to get the information directly from the horse's mouth. As we go on and we get into the advanced lighting and shading courses with my good buddy Brian Bosson, who's worked everywhere from NASA to music videos for like Fall Out Boy and such. We go into the compositing classes with my good buddy Rob Rolls. And Rob came from The Hobbit, The Hunger Games, and so many other productions. And he brings his knowledge into the classroom by showing the students how to use Nuke, which is a very standard 3D compositing software used in, again, all the big films, you name it, it's done it. And so really what ends up happening is that the animation program really kind of bakes these little doughs of artists into like these juicy, delicious artists. And I don't mean to make it weird by referring them to bread, but the fact is that the stuff they create is just absolutely phenomenal. And without that animation and VFX pipeline set forth in the animation program, we wouldn't have Proxy. To further their Maya skills, the students end up going into the model creation course with my friend Joffrey Black, who comes to us from THQ and just a 10-year plus work experience in the video game industry. And he actually shows the students what I like to call modeling boot camp, where they take a 3D model of a car and make it photorealistic like you would see in any big automotive industry commercial, like Nissan, Tesla, Ford, whatever you like. And Joffrey's level of expertise and attention to detail is really what sets the groundwork for my class in the Art Creation for Games course, which is essentially the Unreal 4 class. So without those modeling skills in Joffrey's course, you really can't get into the intricacies of video game modeling and even so with ZBrush later on. Also down the road, we get the students back into animation. So we build upon those 2D classes that we initially introduced by applying those same principles to Maya. And my good buddy Dan Fisk, who's also from THQ and worked with Joffrey for many years, shows them from a very well-structured, really intense animation boot camp, really. So by the end of that, the students really understand the process of creating 3D walk cycles to be used for video games and films and television commercials. So again, animation is a very big part of our curriculum since it is in our title. So the fact that we have such dedicated individuals to this course is really, I feel, an amazing experience for the students.